Every other day I see one of these people working some religious twist, inquiring about me and, and scheming on how can they use me to increase their congregation or turn my cause to what they believe. Give up. I'm not a religious person. Yeah, okay, you're going to say, oh, he's atheist, he's this and that. Let me clarify the thought. I'm not about robotism. All religions have a singular goal to make a group of people, or as many people as possible, walk the same, dress the same, talk the same, think the same, react the same, feel the same. That's what makes them a group. That's what makes them a religion. They all believe and function and do something that is the same. That's robotism. No, that's not what is. That's reality. That's someone tampering with what is. What is each singular individual has its own spiritual link. What do the other? Some people refer to it as their own understanding with God. They have their own relationship with God, individual relationship. Nobody else is included. Okay, so it's all this grouping thing. This grouping thing is from people outside who, if they can get you all to turn left at the same time, have some sense of power and control, and have found ways to make money out of it or to accomplish some end out of it. So the religion is big in the world because it's big business. It doesn't pay taxes, basically. It's robotism. It's a bunch of people going somewhere, being programmed to think about things the same way, to act along the same guidelines, to dress in a certain manner, to act in a certain manner. That's robotism. That has nothing to do with any God or anything spiritual. That's political and social. Tool of government and management. So, of course, I no longer belong to any of those things. I portray a robot. I am not a robot. But what's the difference? What it's made of? I'm made of flesh and blood. It's made of other materials. Is that the difference? I have veins. It has wires. What are the similarities? We both are electrical. Yeah, you are an electrical being just like a robot. And people know this. And they are using you like a robot. What do I mean? You've heard of an electron, right? Electrons are the source of electricity. Okay? And atoms have electrons. You are made of atoms. You have electrons in you. Moving electrons generate electricity. The electrons moving in you is an chemical electrical process. Okay? That's how you function, by electricity. That's how you think. That's how the signal goes from your brain to your hand, and why it travels so fast, like flicking on a light switch. As soon as you think it, your hand moves. Well, at least mine does. You have things gumming up to work, so you can't move like me. You could. You would. And you should. We'll get to that another time. What I'm talking about now is fact A. This has nothing to do with your relationship with the spirit world, your creator, or anything. Fact number 3. Most of the crazy people, this added to their insanity or was the source of making them go crazy. Why? You cannot wrap your brain around the God concept. It's not even a God concept. You can't find it anywhere. A few words called a concept of all omnivorous being in control. That doesn't tell you crap. You cannot picture God in your head. You cannot see God. You cannot smell God. You cannot hear God. And if you think you hear God talking to you in your head, you're way insane. Now, no one can prove to you there is a God or show you any proof of God. And all the things that are great about God happened way in the past where no one could verify it. All the great people died, and all the people who could talk to God don't live no more, and God don't do none of that no more. So we just lose out. Sounds real convenient, right? I said all this before. Don't come to me with your games, with your pimp schemes of your congregation and collection plates. Don't come to me with your fundraisers. Don't come to me trying to use my power for your schemes. I have goals for this power. And when you see me sell it, I have goals for that money. So you can stop circling my mom's house. Get that look off your face when you see me, when you're walking through the neighborhoods, spreading the word. Okay, I'm not even going to comment on what that really is. Okay? All I'm telling you is you have to be crazy to put so much energy into something that you don't know is so true. You can't prove on what someone told you. That's like living your life based on a belief in the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and many, many other tales. How about Bloody Mary and Candyman? Since you got the devil, can't see him either. No one can prove he's real either. At least Candyman got a movie, but the devil got a lot of movies. Nope, that's not the devil. That's what you say. Oh, the devil isn't a red man with horns on his head and a tail and a pitchfork. Then why is he portrayed that way? It's fictional character. No one can say he doesn't look that way. There was no pictures and photographs of the devil and none of these other people either. Those people in those Jesus pictures, you're insane. If you, in your brain, you told yourself that's Jesus, and in the other part of your brain, you know that's not. It's either a painting that was made up, or it was one of those old paintings, those original ones where less than 20 people pose for all of those Jesus pictures. So, you got a picture of Jesus hanging on your wall. That's not Jesus. You got Jesus around your neck. Take a close look. And see, is it some kind of rendition from a Bible movie? Or is it the real description? Remember the argument? Feet bronze, hair like sheep's wool. Does your Jesus have hair like sheep's wool? See what I'm saying? It's a game. A pimp game. See? There's different kinds of pimps running the same game. Prostitution. But they all got their different ways of doing it. And they all say that guy, that ain't the way. This is the way it's done. They all say, let's just take one part of the world, the major religion, all right? The ones centered around the Bible, the scriptures, whatever you want to call it. How can so many have the same book in their hand? They're all reading the same book, but they all say they believe something different. Those guys over there are wrong. We're right. We don't go to their church because they do this, they do that. And then those people, they point out 100 people with the same book, 100 different churches with the same book that they don't want anything to do with. But that's not even what's written in the book and how you're supposed to do, regardless of what they believe. So it's all a big game. A game it's like people didn't give you a choice whether you were going to be vegan or not when you were a baby in my time. They just sit there and wait for you to get some teeth so they can give you meat. You're supposed to eat meat. You're supposed to eat dead flesh. We're carnivores. We're cannibals even. We eat other living things. See, you may think a cannibal is that eats its own. No. It's a living thing that eats another living thing. Because that's eating your own. Yeah, and fish is a living thing. Or fish is not meat. And you are a self-liar with a bunch of just sentences that justify stuff that people accepted. So you thought it was true, or at least you're passing it as true. It works for you. But we see straight through you. And what we're doing with the children, they will too. It's a real odd feeling now, never felt on earth before. Because up until now, all parents through all generations had this big sword that says, whatever you're doing, I already been through and I already done 12 times. I'm a mile ahead of you before you think it. I already thought it. That went out of the window like 20 years ago. They're lost and they're way behind their children. They cannot even work the devices their children are using or do the math or the homework or keep up with, or the kids are telling them this is the way we're dressing now. Remember when parents used to tell their kids how to dress? Going bye-bye. So, that too is like religion. Trends. Everybody dress like this. This is the proper way to dress when you're in this environment. Like if you work here at this company, you're going to dress like this. See what I'm saying? You're going to act like this if you're a part of us. System of control behavior. I'm not with any of that. My companies will be different. And this note is getting a bit long. It'll have to be continued. This is the SBS, the servants of all, worthy causes, and the ones. You know who I am.